We'll be starting here in a minute, helping somebody had some technical difficulties. We'll be starting here in a couple minutes, so just hold on. Okay, we'll get here started in a minute. I've been trying to help somebody get logged on. So give them here another minute or two, see if they got on here. We'll start here about 10 after. So All right, we'll go ahead and get started here. I'm hoping other people can join us. But welcome to Google Docs. I would like you also, if you haven't, to log into our chat session, please. Today's meet, Docs 12 o'clock. If you can see, it's on the front page underneath this, the icon of chat live. But that way I can keep abreast of who's on here and who's talking and stuff. So please get in there. If you got any questions, it's the best way to get a hold of me. You also have the option from the front page to download this PowerPoint. And I see that somebody's already in here. If that's you, you're an anonymous sheep, but I'm glad you're in there. So please you can log in and follow me along with the presentation. Or if not, you can just watch what I'm doing on the screen. And like I said, again, please, it comes, we'll know we're starting this. So please log in to interact with the presenter and our colleagues. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started here. What are Google Docs? Google Docs, as it says here, is a web-based word processing application as part of Google Drive Office Suite. It lends itself to multiple authors working real time on one document. Basically, it is Google's version of Microsoft Documents, Microsoft Word. Google has gone out and said, hey, we're going to create all these things to compete with Microsoft. And they start off with documents, they give you sheets, and they give you the presentation, which is slides, which is like PowerPoint. Sheets is like Excel. And then they've also expanded to some other things that Microsoft doesn't offer you. It's great. So why use Google Docs? The biggest thing of why you want to use Google Docs is it's free. It is probably the biggest thing is it's free, and it's compatible with Microsoft Word. And you have access to it from anywhere. It's let me do a quick audio check. Can you guys hear me? Please, if you can, just go into the chat session. Let me know you can hear me. I forgot to do that check earlier. We'll go back to why I use Google Docs. Well, as you can see on my thing here is Google Docs is comparable to Microsoft Word, also Pages in Apple. If you're an Apple user like me, then you've got Google Presentations, which is like PowerPoint, and Google Sheets, which is like Excel. Google Docs can open up a PowerPoint. Great, thanks, Stephen. I can open Google Presentations can open a PowerPoint. Sheets can open Excel. So it's very versatile in that aspect. Now Pages, Keynote, and Numbers, they can open up the corresponding PowerPoint, Excel, and Word and stuff like this. But Google Docs cannot open the Apple Pages, Keynote, or Numbers. So if you are using any of those and you want to transfer them over to Google Docs, you have to convert them over to a Word, a PowerPoint, and Excel. But it's really versatile. And like I said, the biggest thing is it's free. My neighbor had got himself a new laptop, but he didn't want to buy the Microsoft Word. And he's like, Jason, he said, what can I do? And now he's looking at OpenOffice. I said, no, wait a minute, let's look at this. And so he did. Now he uses it and loves it. And I think that because it's free, it's a big proponent for it. And that's why K12 is using it with the whole Apps for Education. It's opened up this whole world of collaboration and everything that our students can work with it and go with it. And I know that one of the things is, people ask me, well, why does Google do this for free? And I just read an article, I bet about a month and a half ago, where, the thing is that Google, how much they make off their advertising revenue is phenomenal. They make more than Fox, NBC, ABC, and CBS combined from the revenue. So they have the option of doing this. Plus, they're also letting students get used to having a Gmail account and everything. So when they go into the real world, out there from K through 12, they can have their Gmail account. Excuse me. Okay, so let's get started. When you are using your Google Docs, and if you can get to it from your Google Drive, you have many options of doing it. You can also get to it from your Gmail. You have these options, and the quickest and easiest way is this thing up here called the waffle. This is great in the aspect of that. Once you click on it, you can do it'll say, okay, I want to do a document. I want to get to my Gmail, my Drive, my slides, my sheets. You get more of these options. And as you see here, it's there. It's Google Drive. It's also in my Gmail also. So you have that option of using either way. So it's a great way to, Google's made it easy for you to get to it anyway. So that's just I want to point out what the Google Waffle can do, and it's uniform across those different platforms. So let's go ahead and create, and it's real easy to create. So I'm gonna go over here in my Google Drive. Now, when you're creating, you have a couple different options on how to do it. You can click New, and click there to create a Google document. There you go, simple like that, new document, and you can name it. So let's just go new test, new demo. And now I have that document in there. But back here, I can also go, like I showed you here, go to my there. And this is kind of nice, though, to go through the waffle, because when I click on Google Docs here, it kind of lets me see some of the templates. And we'll talk about templates here in a couple of minutes. It allows you to see the resume, the letter, report, some different templates you can use. But it also kind of shows you all the different word processing documents you've had open. And it even shows you how to do, if you've had a Microsoft Word. You can see by the W here, this blue here designates a Google Doc, but this is a Word. And then you also can just do the old simple type in Google Docs. And it's going to take you basically the same place we saw from the waffle. It's going to say here and go to Google Docs. And in the same place with the waffle. So there's just the different ways you can create them. But now that we've created, as we've seen here, when you look at it, you're seeing it just looks the same as your Microsoft Word editing. You change your font style, the size of your letter, text, your size of there. You can insert, format, tools, and we'll talk about add-ons here a little bit. But it's just, file, you can open something, save it, and you download it. So it looks pretty much just like Microsoft Word does. Now it's a basic Word editor, and it's getting better and better, more bells and whistles as it goes along, but it's for what most people need, 99% of the people need. It's perfect. And so like I told you, there's the breakdown, where you've got your title up here, your menu bar, your toolbar, all that kind of stuff. And one of the nice things about Google Docs is you can convert a Word document to a Google Doc. Why would you want to do that? Because the nice thing about a Google document versus a Word document, I'll have to show you, go back to my Google Drive here, is that file size. Anything that is non-Google counts as file size. I get 17 gigs here of total size for my Google Drive. But anything that is non-Google counts for size. So you see here, there's a PDF, some Excel files, and see they all take up space. But if you look at my like here, the PD links, it doesn't take up any space. And an easy way to show it to you is, let me just go here and go to all my text documents, since that's what we're talking about. So as you see, these are all text documents that are Google, and you see they take up no file size over here. But let me go down here to my resume. It takes up file size. So what's nice is, though, I know that in the K-12 world that you guys might have unlimited storage, but if you don't, if it's your personal, you can put stuff up here and share. You can convert a Word document over to Google Doc, and then take the Word document down, save it in your computer. Then anything you keep up here is just going to take up no space and be here. And it's the only way you can collaborate too, is convert and make sure it has to be in a Google Doc form. Let's go ahead and just convert it. So like I said, it's really easy to do. So I'm going to go here and let me find one that is, let's say, my resume. We will convert my resume, and then let's just go ahead and open it. And see, the nice thing is you can do some basic editing to it while you're in here. So you see, this is my resume. So I can do some basic editing if I want to in here, because it is Microsoft Word. That's one thing is that Google's allowed you to, does automatically convert it over to their version. So it stays a DocX, it stays in Excel, it stays a PowerPoint. You can do some basic conversion. It's just when we have to share that you have to convert it over to a Google Doc. And it's very easy to just file, saves Google Docs. And now you see it is saved as a Google Doc. So now it is a Google Doc within my folder. And you see that your file is now Google Docs. Click the share button, start editing with others. Real simple. And I like to keep it in that purpose in the Google Doc format, because it's just, for me, it's second nature. Now I use it a lot more. I mean, because I have apps on my iPad for it, on my iPhone. I can get there and start typing a document. And I started using Google Docs for everything I need, just because I don't need to use Microsoft Word. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm seeing if I've got another. I had an email to make sure. Okay. So now we've converted. So now, again, going back to our Google Doc, it's really easy. Like I said, here's text. So you can just go ahead and type in it. So you just see a simple typing. If I want to change my font, I can go to everybody's favorite comic font. I can change, you know, I can do like highlight it, and I can say I want to make it bigger. I want to bold it, underline it, create a link. If you look through all this stuff, I want to center it. It's just like Word documents. So there's nothing different, and they want to keep it that way. So it's an easy transition for you to learn. And you can, like I said, it says here, spruce it up. I'll close some of the stuff down here. So if I want to insert here, if I want to insert, you know, an image, I can just choose one for my computer upload. So let me go here to an image here. Screenshots to work on images. And do this one, so I'm gonna open that one. Here you see my kids. So now it's there, insert an image. You can insert, we'll talk about comments, drawings, you know, page breaks, headers, footers, so all that kind of stuff. You know, one thing I like about it, like, is your page number. I like that you can say, if you look at it here, it says, okay, it'll start, you know, there's your cover page, then your first, it'll start your number. It gives you some options for that. Then you can, like your header, and play around with it, stuff like that. So that's a nice, I mean, it's a very simple option that they give you for that. You can do tables, which are really nice. You can insert a table in there, like I said, from the insert. You might want to think about using tables. One of the drawbacks, like I said, it's a basic, is that one of the drawbacks is that in Word, you can split it up into like columns and stuff like this. Say, you know, split your paper up in threes. You can't do that here. So you might want to look at, you know, getting around it by inserting a table in there and saying, I'm going to insert a table with just 2 columns. And then that'll allow you to then, if you want to take it and expand it and play with it some more. And like I said, the best thing about using Google Docs or any Google format is to go ahead and play with it and use it. And then by inserting a table in here, you can take your boundary and change its color to white so it matches, so that you don't see the lines. And then you can type in here and type in there, set your images in there. And you can see that kind of in my example here, and my images in a box and stuff like this. If you want to set up kind of like a template or something like this. So now, speaking of templates, let's go ahead and look at the templates. It's really easy just to do Google templates, Google Doc templates. Now, the nice thing about Google Doc templates is that you have all these here, and you can say, I want to use by my documents. So it's going to limit it. And then I can look down here and say, what type of different ones do I want to look at? And these are some templates that Google's created, but it's also templates that our K12 teachers have created, or others. So you might have created something for your class and you want to share the template. You have that ability to submit a template up here and can share it, so other people have done it. So you can look through all these and say, look, a student report, cover letter, newsletter. You can look down through here and say, what I want to look for is, you know, different legal, different, you know, kind of different topics that you want to, most users, higher ratings. So you can kind of do it. But it's nice that those people out there put this stuff out there for you to use. So some teacher might have come up with a check-in, check-out form to use for their classrooms or something like that, and they'll share it with you and you can use it. And once it's here, there's no copyright or anything there, because once you put it here, it's open source to anybody. So sharing, this is probably the best, one of the biggest deal that I really enjoy about Google Docs, is that you can share and collaborate. I know that faculty I work with here at ECU are using it for book chapters and articles when they're collaborating with stuff, so they can share a document across. And when you're sharing, it's really easy. You just go up here to your share, and you can say, okay, if you know a specific person, so if I wanted to share with a coworker, Holly, I click there and I would give that, and Holly can edit it, or she can just comment or view it. Or you can get, if you wanted to share with people that might not have a Gmail account, all you need to do is get this link, copy this link, and you can give them the rights to, anybody who has the view can edit it, comment, or view it. So that's just a real easy way. So you can, if your students are there, you can send them a blanket email with that link and everybody has access to it. And you can tell if somebody's in the document. I'll go back to my presentation, because up here you see, which I've shown you is the anonymous sheep. That means there's somebody in there that they're not logged in. If they were logged in, you would see their name across there and it would show that to them too. So if an example would be like, link. And now, look at my presentation. There's somebody else's anonymous name or anonymous sheep. So there's more than one person in there. So it's a great way you can see, and then you all can see when they do editing and stuff like this, you can see it. So let's go to commenting. So like I said, you have different options when you share a document with a person. So this is a lot of teachers are using this option. Let me pull up a document that has some text on it. I'm just going to make a copy of this real quick so I don't mess it up. There's my copy of my social media. So there's a okay. Guess there's nothing there. Well, this is one that I'm sorry. So this next to them. So what this is just a form, but if I want to comment, I can comment up here, click on comments, add a comment, and I can say right there, rate. What? Sorry. Comment. So now you see it. So if another person was looking at this document, they can come through and say, oh, okay. I know that for editing purposes, you can go in and say, hey, this might be not correct or change it to this if you don't want to give them full editing rights. Now, what a lot of K through 12, especially secondary and English and history using this for, they're having their students write papers, and they can go in and comment and kind of watch their students write the paper and kind of keep them on track so they don't go off on a tangent, you know. Like when I was in high school years and years ago, I would turn in a paper and I would get it back with all the red and, you know, what do you mean by this and that and this? Well, now the teacher can go ahead and kind of keep them on task and go through it. So it's a nice way to do it. I talked about collaborating. That's probably the biggest thing that we're using it for, and I use it for is, you know, I work with some people to collaborate on PD, to collaborate on presentations for conferences and everything. And I will show you. I'm gonna go with one that's shared with me, not starred, sorry, but shared with me. Now this means that somebody else has created and they've shared it with me. See, Holly shared this with me. Dan shared this, this by planning document. So I click on this, and as you can see, you can share it with me, and I can see what the last edit. So these are all the people that have collaborated. So Dan made some, Holly made some, and you can see these are all the different edits that people have done with our collaboration. And you can go back and you have the option of changing it back to this format if you want to. It says show changes. So it's showing me all the changes that Dan would have done, stuff like this. And that's how the collaboration works. And I just showed you revisions. So again, when you share your revisions, you can see the history and you go through and do it. Now, one of the other nice things about, I'll go to my new demo, is that if you watch up here, it says all changes saved in drives. As you see, it's saving right now. When I keep typing, it saves it automatically. So see, that said testing instead of testing. So now it says testing. saving. I'll change save. So it's not like Microsoft Word where, you know, we've all been there writing a paper, we forgot to save it and it crashes for something. We're like, oh, we've just lost 2 or 3 hours worth of work. The nice thing about, because this is a cloud-based software, is you automatically saves it. So anytime you get there. You don't have to worry about saving the document anytime. It automatically saves it. And this works out great for that aspect, but it also, like I said, just saves it. So now one of the nice ones that they've come up with is voice to text. I really like this little trick. So when I go back to my new demo, I can go up here to go to Tools, Voice Typing. Let me get down here. And I'm going to start over here, click to speak. And now I'm going to talk about voice typing. This actually will type whatever I am saying. So you can use this while you're driving in a car, set it up, and there are apps for that. But if you just have an idea and you want to talk about it, then go back and edit it. Now I've turned it off, and now you can see, now I'm going to go talk about voice typing. And now you can see that it has, you know, it actually will say, it automatically do the search and with it. But it's a really nice little neat trick that they've done. Add-ons. Now this is one of the other things that Google's done that's really smart and powerful. When you're using Microsoft Word and you're using or Apple products and stuff like this, you just you're stuck with what they give you. Well, Google has said, we're not going to do that. We're going to give the option to third-party vendors to maybe create something that can be used right along with their product. So it's called add-ons. As you can see, I have a whole different list of add-ons I put on there. Some are like speech recognition. That was earlier before they did the voice text. But you have MindMeister, Link Chooser. Link Chooser will let you select a file in your phone. So if I wanted to talk about, let's just do voice. And I'm going to go to my add-ons to Link Chooser, select a file. Voice would then be connected to a file within my Google Drive. So a folder or anything like this. So if you're writing a presentation, you don't really have to send a link, because you can actually directly link it to that. So that is now within my file. So that's nice too. That's one of the nice add-ins. You also get a doc to a form, charts, and these are some ones you want to look at. One, and you can, but it's really easy. You can get them right here. If you do word cloud generator, create a word cloud generator. It's nice if you're, you see those word clouds that everybody does. And this one's not going to do as much as something else would. But see, typing, talk, those are the most I've said in there. But, it's a neat little trick that people are. I know some people are using it to see if some people are very repetitive in words they're using. So you can kind of check it that way too. You also have, your add-ons here, and just different ones. But like I said, if you want to get one, you just click right here, and it's their add-ons. Now there are add-ons for sheets, and there's add-ons for presentations. So Google's is not that, but most of these are free. There might be some that you get a short 30-day trial period, anything like that. Like HelloSign will let you use for sign a PDF and stuff like this. You create your own signature, but you look through these, and you can also say, I want to search for all of them, education ones. So this one's very popular, GMath, if you're into that, if you are a math teacher. But you can look through Easy Bib. I think that's one that's for 30 days, and you can do it as bibliography. You're teaching rubrics. There's just different ones. Again, just go ahead and look at them and play with them. But it's really nice that they've opened it up to third-party vendors. They realize there's a lot of really smart people out there that can be helping them create these things. Talked about the cloud generator, your link chooser. Now, this is probably my favorite aspect, research. So we're going to go over here to our document. And way back in the day when I started off and I had to do research, I had to use card catalog, then a computer, but then you had to pull up, find all your references and stuff like this, write them down or type them in real quick. We had them, keep them on file cards, everything like this. Google's changed that with this. So I'm going to click pizza, as it is lunchtime. Now, when I right click it, I have the option of research pizza, define pizza. So let's go ahead and click pizza, define it. It just gives me a quick, it's a noun, a dish of Italian origin, blah, blah, blah. That's great. Now, but if I want to right click here and say I want to research pizza, I click on that. Now you see it's giving me, first of all, it's going to give you your ads up front. Excuse me. It does that because that's where they make their money. So Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's, those people are paying money to have theirs right up front there. That's where they're making their money. But what's nice is I can say, you know what, I'm gonna look through these images because I want an image of pizza. So I like that image. Well, first of all, I click on it. It's going to take me there for it. But if I just don't want to click on it, I can just, let's find a little better one. Right here, I can grab the image and now I can drop it in my Word document. And as you see, it's got number 1 down there. It's cited where the images come from. So that's very nice. Now the other option is I'm going to highlight my pizza here and I'll look down here and there's Pizza Wikipedia. I can insert a link. So now it's an active link to it would take me to my document, but I also can cite it. So now that it has a 1 down here and there's the 2. So the 1, Pizza Wikipedia, free encyclopedia. It might not be the format that you need or want, but you actually have it cited. So when you're doing your research, you can go ahead and do that. So it's nice, even if you're kind of rough typing your document up and you find it's your web resources you want to use, just keep it and cite it. And you can always change it, but you have where you found it in the resources. So that makes it really nice. Now download as. This is important for the fact that you can go up here to File. You want to say I want download as. I can do a Word document. So you might be, like I said, you created it all here in your Google Docs. You've saved it. But now you want to make sure that you want to give it to a friend who's not comfortable using Google Docs. You can download it as a Word document, and they can have it and they can edit it with Microsoft Word. You also have the option of doing it as a PDF. So you want to create a PDF of something, go ahead and do that. And as a web page if you're really adventurous and want to try with it. But it's just nice to have that. You've got your languages too if you want to change language to your whole document. Again, this is another place you can see revision history. If you want to rename it, it's there. So just, it's nicely there. Now, one of the nice little tricks that I like is they offer you a free OCR, which means it'll change a PDF to text. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to go to my Google Drive. Sorry. My Google Drive. And I'm going to find myself a PDF. On my PDFs. Let's go down one here that I know I haven't used. This newsletter. So I've right-clicked, I've highlighted, right-click it, and I want to open it with Google Docs. So what we're looking at here, there is our newsletter that they've given us, but now there's the text. So it's basically pulled all the text out from it. So if you wanted to copy and paste some text, some PDFs you can do it with, but some you can't. So this is a nice way to convert it over to a format that you can. Or if you want to, now what I've done here, I can right-click it and I can research, define helm. So you can do that. So you can do it. So then you can change it to a format. You can do research, stuff like this. So it's a great free way to do it. I know that there's a lot of other software that might give you a better, prettier version of what you're doing. And sometimes it doesn't look the best, but you do with what you got, and it's a great resource that you have. And one of the other things that you can do is you can work offline. And this is great. So I go back to my Google, my Drive, and I want to say when I have the option of going over here to my wheel and say, you know what, I want to go to my settings, and I want to make sure that I can work offline. So if your internet crashes and you still can type your paper or anything like that, you can then, as soon as it, if you're on a desktop, as soon as you get internet back up, it'll automatically sync everything up. So you can make your edits, comments, and it'll sync it back up. You could be in the car, on your laptop, working, flying on a plane, say at an airport, you don't have very good internet connectivity, but if you have all your documents in there, you can go ahead and then create new ones, edit, and like I said, comment, and then boom, as soon as you get the internet, it automates those updates. And it also will work with a mobile device, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's nice in that aspect is that you can work offline and do everything you do. As soon as you get internet, it'll update it. And I know I'm going a little fast here, and we're making really good time here. Are there any questions? I should have said that earlier about questions. Feel free to join on the chat session. This is probably the other biggest strength, is that the access from anywhere. Not only can I access from my desktop or my laptop, but I can get it to from any mobile device, from my iPad or my iPhone, an Android device. All you need to do is download the app. Now it's a little different, you know, whereas everything on a desktop, whether I'm using my Google Drive here, which is the internet version of it, or the cloud version, or if you go to and you Google, when you search for Google Drive, you can download it to your computer, and I can't show it to you right now, and it has an icon, you can click on it. I'm so used to using this format, I stick in the cloud version, the web version, but I can use it from that. Or if I've got my mobile device, I have an app on my iPad, I just click on that, I type in, I was in a meeting earlier today, type in my notes and stuff like this, so I can come back here now, and then if I have to look at my notes, and I can copy and edit those notes and shoot them in an email to somebody else, and I don't have to transcribe them from a notebook or anything like this, but I have access to them. So it makes it really nice and that I can do that. Like I said, you can get to anywhere. And if you can be, like I said, I worked with before I was at ECU, I was at Craven Community College in Craven, North Carolina, and Craven County in New Bern, and I was working with one of the fire department trainers here in Greenville, and he was telling me that he used to he still does, but when he would drive to Raleigh for weekly meetings for training stuff, he has all of his documents converted over to Google format, so that when he was on the road, another fireman would be driving him. He could get a lot of paperwork done on the hour and a half, 2 hours it would take him to get there, and then coming back the hour and a half, 2 hours come back. So he said he made great use of his times by having this access, being able to access from an iPad or a laptop and using it. And then as soon as he got to the internet, he uploaded it and updated everything. So it gave him allowed him to be a lot more efficient with his time. Instead of that dead time where he might have had a whole sheaf of papers he's carrying around with him in a binder and trying to fill stuff out, he could take care of it. I know that it's worked out great for us, and to talk a little bit about the collaboration aspect of where my coworkers can, they can share out documents and stuff like this, but they also, one person uses spreadsheets very heavily, and she can share a spreadsheet and collect data with it. So it makes it nice for that aspect too. All right, so 10 ways Google Drive, Google Docs supports you. And this is kind of an overarching theme for everything. When I'm talking with my Google is, it's writing. We talked a little bit about the writing, where you can comment. You have a document that's free, you can write in, you can comment on it, you can share it, so people can either edit it or you can add to it. I mean, like I said, I remember back when I was in college, we'd had, when I was taking some business classes, we worked in group projects. And at the end, somebody would be like, okay, I'll type it. So everybody would give them a little flash. They'll give them a little flash drive and hand it to them, and they would take their content for the paper. They would email it to them. They'd combine it together. Well, this kind of, by the sharing and the commenting, kind of takes that way out, that step out of there, where they can say, okay, let's just create a document. We all type our stuff in there, and then we can edit it from there. You have the presentation, Google Slides, which I'll be doing a workshop on a little bit later, but it's like PowerPoint. It's a pretty good, easy stuff like this. Again, intuitive. That's one thing that Google's made, is all pretty intuitive, because there's not much of a big transition leap from Google Docs to Word, Microsoft Word, or PowerPoint to Slides, or Excel to Sheets, or something like this. There's not a big loop. That all looks the same. You have the option to make images. Google Drawing is really good for that. If you are a person that's big into infographics, something like this, you can do that. Organize. You can, a lot of people use Google Slides for organization when they do research and papers like this, but you also have your Google Drive. Look at it, where you can, if I go back to my Drive, I can look at here and I can color code my folders that I'm sharing with if I was sharing with students or coworkers and stuff like this, and say what they're looking at, my data summits, ones or that. They could go through and do that. So it's a way to keep a little better organized. And for some of us, we need a lot of it. Google Maps is really taking off. People are looking at, and they're incorporating that in their education. So it might be something you want to look at. You'll be seeing, you have the option of doing a Google, you have the option of doing a Google form, and I highly recommend you do it, especially if you're wanting a CEU for this. Go ahead and do that Google form. They're really quick and easy to create. They're simple. Look at it. I talked about connecting. One way you can connect, and this is a nice way when I'm doing a Google Doc, and I'll show you here my presentation, but I can actually chat. Nobody else is signed in. So if somebody else was signed into the Google chat, I'm gonna check something here. So as you see, and I'm going to just show an example here on my presentation, the College of Education is signed in, and that's what the C is for. So they are there too, so that they can chat. So I can actually say, I want to chat. I can click and say, and this works on presentations, it works on docs and sheets, and say, I can say, like I said, this is a great way to connect, and it would work the same way over here for my new demo. I'm going to go ahead and share this, but I'm going to share this with College of Education, can edit. So they have rights to this document. So I'll go back over here. Now that the College of Education is up here, you can see up here that they're go ahead, and they've appeared as there's the College of Education. You can see them appear up here. And again, if I wanted testing out chat, I can't spell. They do that, and you can also see from then if they want to say, share. There's the chat from it. And okay. But as you can see, there's a great way you can communicate back and forth with people. And search, and I should do the searching with the document and everything there. So are there any questions? Please feel free to email me. I'll stay on here for a little bit if you need to talk to me. But you also have the option of please fill out the forms. One of the other things I want to talk about and show you too is, I'm going to my drive, is our EdCamp. Oops, so I converted that over. Not what I wanted it to be. EdCamp flyer. And here is our flyer where you can register to join our EdCamp. It's offering April 23rd. And I can share that, so I'll get the link. Copy it. And let me put it over here. No, too much. Sorry about that. I'll put my size down here too. You have the options of, thanks for fill out the survey, please do it, but you also please look at our EdCamp flyer. If you need to, email me at white@jdcui if you have questions. But if you want to see EU, you'll need to go ahead and log into the Google form, complete it, and when you're done with it, once you've been 10 sessions, now sessions could be 10 of mine, they can be 5 of mine, 3 of Holly's, 2 of Dan's. Once you get those 10, you let me know, and then we'll go from there and say we'll issue a CEU. That is a technology CEU. I must be clear about that. It does not count as a CEU for literacy or anything else. It's a technology CEU. But once you get 10 sessions, you can do it. Now back to the Ed Camp. If you do attend our Ed Camp, it is worth half a CEU if you come all day for technology. I will be here for a few more minutes if you need me. If you got any questions, feel free to email me at any time. Please go ahead and do the Google form, and then you get a chance to look at the Ed Camp flyer. Sorry, I had the wrong link there. I wanted to update the link there. So there's the current link for this one. So.